Hey everyone, what's up and welcome to this video about how to create your own release plan. The reason why I created this video is because a lot of artists approach me with questions about promotion or marketing and releasing their track. I recently created a new track. It's been like months, maybe even a year and a half that I've created something. But I finished this new track and I want to take you on a journey with me to how I promote my music, how I market my music, how I reach out to labels, or if I release it myself, how I do it. I just want to take you on a journey and show you how I work so you can use it for yourself. In the next few weeks, you can follow me on social media to join me on that journey, but I will also upload videos on my YouTube and Facebook channel regarding the subjects. The first thing we will go through is how I finish my tracks and how I collect all my release assets. So let's start off with the first part of this show. Before we even start, I would like to tell you more about this track and I want you to listen to it so you know what the track sounds like and maybe what the possibilities are in labels or promotion or marketing. Because in the end, it's all about the music. The background story behind this track is that I almost didn't make music for about maybe a year and a half. I quit producing music and playing around the world about 2 years ago. And now, a year and a half, 2 years later, I finally felt like creating something new. I created something at home in my home studio with my headphones and I created this new track. When I finished this new track, I thought about, okay, I want to release this track, but how do I promote it? How do I market it? How do I make people aware of the fact that there's a new track out? How do I make people aware of the fact that they can listen to it or they can buy it or they can stream it? These are the things that we go through in the next few weeks. I will tell you more about how I market my music, how I promote my music, and how I release my music. This is the track that I've been talking about. It's a new track from my side and I call it About Me. That's the title. Now I know that the creative part of the track is finished, I'm going to the next step. I'm going to mix and master the track. The version that you just heard wasn't mastered at all. I mix it at home on my headphones, but I will take it to a professional mastering company to take it to the next level. This is what it sounds right now. A lot of people make the mistake that they think that they have to be a producer, but they also have to do the mixing and the mastering themselves. Don't get me wrong, that's two different things. One is the creative part and one's the mixing and mastering part. It actually means that the creative part is something that comes out of you. It comes out of your brain, it comes out of your heart. It's something you created the melody, you created the beats, you combined all those little things together into one big package, which is your track in the end. The mixing and the mastering part is something completely different. It doesn't really matter if you suck at mixing or if you suck at mastering. Don't even bother and just think about hiring someone else to do it for you. Because mixing and mastering is a completely different thing, and if you want to be really good at it, you don't only have to learn a lot of things, but you also have to get like a great studio, great speakers, a great room, and a great environment to mix your tracks. So not everyone has those kind of things. Most of the people only have their bedroom or maybe their home studio, but they don't have a professional studio where they can mix their track. So don't hesitate, and if you think you don't really know how it works or whatsoever, think about it. Would you like to learn it and would you like to get better at it? Of course, dive into it and try to see if you can get better in it. But in the meantime, you can hire an external company which will master it professionally for you. The reason why you want your track to be mastered on a highly level is because when you play out your track in between other tracks, you don't want that volume to dip in your set. I think every DJ knows that feeling of playing his own track and then it just takes a volume dip because the track before you played, so let's say you played a track from Swedish House Mafia and sounded really loud, then you played a track of yourself and just the volume dipped. and you lose energy in your set, you lose energy on the dance floor, and you lose the crowd. So that's not something you want. That's why you want your track mastered properly, because you want your track to sound properly on the dance floor, but also on your iPod and also on the radio when they play it out loud. So that's why you need proper mastering. I always like to compare producing a track to creating a dish. You have to get your meat, you have to get your potatoes, and you have to get your vegetables. That's the mixing and the producing part of it. But what's the thing that's finishing all of this and what's making your dish even better? It's the sauce. And that's what mastering is, in my opinion. That's the sauce over your dish that makes everything just a little bit more better and takes everything to each other to a full dish. That's why you need proper mastering, to make everything just a little bit better. So when you finish your track, it's time to collect your release assets. You're going to need a few audio file formats that you're going to send out to labels or DJs to play your track, or radio stations or whatsoever. So what I always recommend is to render one WAV file from the complete track, so a high quality WAV file, which is going to be the master file. After you've sent it to the mastering company, you will receive a WAV file, which is going to be the final master. This is the file you're going to send to the label, or that you're going to release yourself. It's the highest quality possible of your own track. From that file, I'm going to create a 320 kbps file to send out to DJs or to send out to radio stations as a promotional file. Not every DJ out there is waiting for the highest quality possible, so just give them an MP3, the highest quality MP3, and if they request the WAV file, you can always send it later if you want to. From that 300 kbps file, I'm going to create a sample, which is just a small take of the track, which lets you hear about the track. So most of the time it's a part of the break and a part of the drop. Only 30 seconds to 1 minute, and you're gonna render it to 128 kbps, a really low quality. This is the preview you can use on social media. This is the preview you can send out to people to let them hear, to show them your track, but it's not something you're gonna send to the label. If you're going to send out something to the label, they're going to want to listen to the full track. So if you send out your track to the label, just make sure you send out the full track in high quality, but not the WAV file. Just send the MP3, that should be enough. So now that you've collected your release assets and received the master from the master company, it's time to go to the next step, which is deciding if you're going to release it on a label or release it by yourself. I'm going to tell more about this next week.